I don't know how long this video is gonna go, but just listening to a little bit of this morning, I had a car service, had a day off, so I had plenty of time to just kick back and pay attention. And none other than Big Steve, the Man City man, was salty, rattled, annoyed, to use buzzwords that today's kids use, because Arsenal didn't come to the Etihad and just play open, expansive Arsenal football for Man City to then exploit and counter and, get one over Arsenal themselves. I mean, how dare teams go to the Etihad and not play to the Man City strengths, yeah? Arteta, the Arsenal squad, masterclass has been put in some instances here of how they came to the Etihad and defended against Man City, restricted them to only one shot on target. Haaland having another absolute stinker. De Bruyne not doing anything. Foden having been subbed off. Doku playing on the right side of that forward line. Absolute madness. Obviously, Ake going off injured was not a good thing. They were already missing Stones before that. And of course, Edison not playing because he's injured as well. So we had, what's his name? Bloody hell. But it doesn't matter what the goalkeeper's name is. It'll come back to me. Man City's goalkeeper. Anyways, doesn't matter. So that's where we see the scene set up here. So gonna move it over now. And there we are there. And I was expecting the live chat to pop up here, but it ain't here. So, I mean, maybe it might eventually pop up as we play the video, but let's just hear what Steve had to say, because at first Steve was very confident. If you want to just go back real quick, actually I should say this, his prediction for this game, let's see what he had to say when he spoke to Turkish just a few days ago.
Yeah, I just feel like City are going to do it. I feel like we're going to get the crowd behind us early doors. We're going to put in a good performance. I'm saying 3-1 City.
3-1 City.
Now, just to be fair, Turkish said 3-1 Arsenal. Obviously, it finished donut to each team. But you can see there, Steve says they're going to put in a good performance. Well, did they put in a good performance, or were Arsenal the team with the good performance? Anyways, let's hear what Big Steve had to say about this performance, because the comments are saying that he was absolutely rattled. What does it say here? All-timer, Steve was rattled all night. Steve is rattled. Steve plays off losing his head and building false narratives by saying the opposition fans were rattled. Arsenal got a point. Somehow they're getting more heat than the home team. Seems like Arsenal doing really puts people in a bad mood. Funny when Steve calls others rattled when he's so emotional. I think he is. Obviously, I did a commentary before that when he threw some shade at Terry and the football terrace, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see what he has to say.
Or does that mean Porto defended well? So I think Porto defended well, and I think Arsenal defended well. But I also think, I'm going to be honest, that they missed a great opportunity to have a pair of bollocks and go and attack City at the Etihad. So I'm not buying into this, Arsenal defended, Arsenal is great, Arteta went there, made sure we didn't get beat. You needed to go there and win. If you want to win the league, you need to go there and win.
So they need to go there and win, but he himself predicted City were going to win this game 3-1. So now that Arsenal stopped them from scoring, first team to do so since, November 21 or whatever the hell it was, of 2021, that is. You can see the salt in the chat is for everybody to see there. The soul, look at this. Steve is rattled. Aren't they the big sharks? Yeah, you're mad. Well, we did not try to get battered. And I think Steve understands that this is a point where City fans really were expecting Arsenal to come there and try and play football again and get one over Arsenal. And you can just see the comments are just going to light up here. Just going to see no one is buying Steve's rhetoric here. So confident before the game, but when it didn't turn out that way, he's like, oh, you missed a big opportunity to go there and win and beat us. But if he's confident of a win, then what makes him think that they were ever going to go there and win anyways, that being Arsenal?
We went to Anfield last week. We've never won there in, 10 years with a crowd? And we tried to win, and we nearly got beat, and we come out of it a draw. I feel like Arsenal was happy with that. I just feel happy with it, Everything was nullified. If you want to call it a defensive masterclass, call it a defensive masterclass, but you ain't Burnley.
Ortega was his name, that's right. City's goalkeeper, Ortega.
You ain't Chelsea. Chelsea came there, got a point. I feel like Arsenal should have came and won. I think they should have been brave. United was brave. They went 1-0 up. They should have been 2-0 up. If they'd have got 2-0 up United and defended, they could have nicked that win. They missed the chance and City took it. I just don't buy this. I think that some of the Arsenal fans' mentality is wrong. I just think I'm disappointed with a draw. I'm coming out the ground. I'm thinking that was absolute shit. We created no chances. We couldn't get through Arsenal. Don't get me wrong. Teams set up like that against us, but they're not very good teams, and we get through. Arsenal set up like that, and they're a good side.
Wait, so is he literally complaining? Did he literally just make the point that other teams that set up like that are shit teams, therefore they can still play through them, but Arsenal are a great team, therefore they set up and were far superior to stop us from performing? Is he fucking serious right now? What the fuck did he expect? Did he actually expect Arteta to go there and say, rightio boys, off you go, play your football, don't worry about what City are capable of, don't worry about Haaland, the robot there, don't worry about De Bruyne, don't worry about Foden, don't worry about Silva, don't worry about this, don't worry about that, just go there and play your football. Did he really think that was going to be the case? I mean, the man spent how many seasons there as Pep's right-hand man? He knows how Pep reacts, how he thinks, maybe not exactly how he thinks, but he knows what he's going to do. Why the fuck would he play into his hands? Why?
And to play like that, they got the point. But I just think both teams have concentrated on each other that much. We're fucking forgetting about the elephant in the room. Liverpool just gone clear. And I just thought it was disappointing. I thought I come out of Anfield the other week and I thought both teams had a goal. If we'd have won, fair enough. If Liverpool won, fair enough. I came out of that and I thought City were trying. We had the ball in their half. We aren't doing much with it. And Arsenal just thought, you know what? They ain't going to get through. We'll just move side to side. Keep it sweet. And I just think it was for a big game, like we built it up. I just think it was fucking poor, man, from both sides. But we're definitely not at the races. We're definitely not at the races. We're not playing well. And, you know.
Poor from both sides. So Arsenal going to the Etihad, defending for the most part, obviously, because, you know, they had to. You're playing against City. You play expansive football against City. They're probably going to better you and get one over you. So obviously Arteta's seen that and thought, okay, you know what? We've beaten them at home. You go away, at least don't lose the game. I think there is a saying that said, if you can't win, at least don't lose. And Arsenal didn't lose the game. Could have had an opportunity if, you know, the ball was squared across to Martinelli from, was it Trossard, if that was ever a moment late in the game, but there wasn't to be. And if spots or maybes, and if my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike. Reference there, many people would know. So it's pretty wild for Steve to be saying how he's disappointed that, you know, Arsenal didn't come to play or City didn't play well, but what were you expecting? Did you really think that Arsenal were going to go there and just try and play blitz football only to be outdone? I really don't understand why. This is like massive deflection. Instead of looking at his City team and saying, we can beat anybody there is out there. Yes, they're difficult games, but we're City. We've got Pep. We've got Foden. We've got De Bruyne. We've got Haaland, the best of the best of the best. Go out there and show us then. Show us why you are the best of the best of the best. Don't give us these bullshit excuses after when you can't win a game. When Liverpool play against teams like that and we can't score to save our lives like against United, I went back and look at that and say, United are not going to come to Anfield and try and play football. They're going to try and stop you and do whatever they can to stop you from playing football. And they did that. They got their draw. Fair play to them. Not every team is going to come there and say, well, it doesn't matter who we're playing against. We're still going to go there and we're still going to win. We're going to play our football. It doesn't work like that all the time. So Steve, unfortunately, is very, very salty, like a shark would be salty because they live in salt water, obviously.
I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but listen, Arsenal, mentality-wise, all wrong. If I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm coming out of that game and I'm disappointed. I'm not celebrating the point. I'm not celebrating. This is not the same Man City who used to play and get beat. This is a different Man City. This is a team where if you had a pair of bollocks, if that Saka and Trossard and Martinelli and all that really wanted to get them balls over the top and have a go at us, Arsenal would have beat us.
I just want to read you some comments here. I want to keep some comments. Haha, bullshit. You should have tried harder. Steve, bitter as fuck. Don't tell us how to act. I fell asleep during the game. Salt emojis. Crazy saltiness. City not winning the title. It's between Liverpool and Arsenal. We don't care. but we took 4 points from you guys. All he's doing is talking about Arsenal, salt, hold that. You can clearly see the deflection is on there. The deflection is on. Look at that. Arsenal had 7 shots in Porto. Stop waffling, Steve. They had 7 shots, but only 1 on target in Porto when they played in Portugal. Obviously at home they had more because they actually scored a game. So Steve being very, very rattled, as it were.
Because this season Arsenal are better than us.
So Arsenal are better than City, but he's upset that Arsenal didn't go to the Etihad and play Arsenal football, so City could then play City football and beat them because they're better at everybody else because of how they play, because they've got Pep. Right.
But you was the favourites, and you probably need to...
Correct.
Forget that. I watched football with my eyes. There's only one team that came to that game who wanted to win. We were in your half trying to win. You was trying not to get beat.
Play better.
That's the difference. You did not...
When Van Dijk came out after that United game and said there was only one team that came there to win, the other team didn't, that may be true. That doesn't negate the fact that the home team should have done better. City are the home team. You should be playing to beat Arsenal. It shouldn't be up to Arsenal to go there and beat you. Obviously, they know who they're against. They know they're playing against a very good team. They know they're playing against a very good manager. They know they're playing against the defending champions, the Centurions of yesteryear, the defending treble winners, going for a 4P, defending Champions League winners, all that shit. Why the fuck would any team go there thinking that they're going to play their own brand of football expecting to win? Please, someone explain to me, why would any team think they're going to go there and win playing their football against City? Please.
Not try and win.
I think from open play, we created the better chances. Your 2 best chances.
Yeah, but the chances are created by us giving you the ball and like Doku passing it to Trossard.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
But Steve, I mean, you can't say created by you because of our good pressing, because Pep has built his career off of the way he presses. You won't blame.
Listen, this might upset the Arsenal fans. I don't give a shit. But I'm telling you now, you ain't winning the league, mate. You ain't winning it. You've not got the mentality because you flip-flop all the time. You came to the Etihad with chest telling everyone to believe, but you didn't believe in yourself. And your manager didn't believe you could do it because he set you up to defend in your own half. So let's not pretend it was a bit of a ding-dong when you was getting us on the counter-attack. He was in your own half. We had 75% possession.
He's mad upset.
Kovacic's running around with the ball, nobody touching him. But we was huffing and puffing, we weren't good enough. And then you're claiming a moral victory against Erling Haaland. I've seen Wolves defenders restrict Erling Haaland to less.
I'm just going to fast forward here. I saw a tag. I'll link it down below, of course. Just the saltiness, the sheer saltiness from Steve to be saying Arsenal didn't come to play. They were scared. They didn't have the mentality. They didn't have the bollocks for it. It's like, bro, Liverpool went there and we try and play football, but Pep knows against us he can get outdone very, very easily. Okay? And there will be something I will say to finalize this based on managers and whatnot, based on players and shit like that, because if City are the best team, if City have the best squad and all that, there should be no issues whatsoever having them beat Arsenal, having them beat anybody. But there is a better point to this. Let me just find this here. 122.40. Let's have a look here.
Quality. Now maybe it's the sign.
Listen, we're used to playing Arsenal that are an expansive team that want to come and play football, not come and sit in 2 banks of 5.
Okay, so they're used to playing a Arsenal team that plays expansive, that plays open football, but when they come to defend and probably work on a counter-attack or a transition or whatever it is, then it becomes a problem. Well, fuck me, that ain't Arsenal's problem. That's City's problem to deal with. Arsenal probably came there and said, you know what, we're going to sit, we're going to defend, we're going to stop them from attacking us, we're going to low block it and try and spring them on a counter-attack, because they've seen it happen to them many a time. United did it, Liverpool did it at Anfield as well for some periods of the game. The second half was all us. Again, I rule Luis Diaz's finishing during that game, but that's done and dusted now. But there are teams that can do it. Steve is expecting this is Arsenal of 2016. This is not banter Arsenal. We may still banter the fans in a way, but this is not banter Arsenal. This is an Arsenal team now that are different, that have changed their way. They're not going to the Etihad thinking that they're going to play the Arsenal way, expansive football, only to get slapped up.
They played expansive last season.
You got the greatest manager of this time, Steve.
But we haven't got the greatest players of all time. We've not got a team that's not ticking. You're the one, the team that's cooking.
Hold on,
you should be cooking us. Why didn't you cook us?
Oh my God!
One by one.
Salty.
Hold on. When they played expansive,
Steve, when you went to Anfield,
let me finish my point, please. When they played expansive last season, you cooked them on the break. You played it into Haaland. He laid it off for De Bruyne, and you slapped them on the break. And I've seen you do that a couple of times this season. You did that at Luton. You've done it at other teams. Arsenal know that you've got a lot of pace and power in behind with Erling Haaland.
Someone's got sense. Thank you, Matisse.
And they restricted you to basically no chances at the Emirates.
Correct.
So it's not a massive surprise to me that they go away from home. This is the toughest team in the world. Your Champions League favourites alongside maybe Real Madrid or whoever else it is. There's no way Arsenal are going to go there and play the same way because you are behind them in the table. You are behind them in the table. Now, I thought it was a disgraceful game to watch. Don't get me wrong. And it was a snooze fest. And I wish Arsenal opened up and made it a good game. But it genuinely doesn't make sense for them to do that. Because if they lose that game because they went for it, now two teams are over them in the title race.
Yep.
And that's crazy. So it was on you to win. You have to.
And on last season,
Liverpool come to the Etihad Stadium and put 2 banks of 5 and defend like in their own half for 75% possession sitter. Did they do that?
When you go to Anfield all these years, don't you set up differently? How many times have you said Pep has set up differently at Anfield and you had to change the way you play?
Teams set up differently when they go away from home. Of course they fucking do. They're not playing at home. Fuck me. What is this bullshit from fucking City fan Big Steve? Why, Steve? Absolute bomberclad, man. Seriously, this guy really trying to fucking put a case forward that Arsenal pussied out and they didn't play football because he's frustrated that they didn't get this win that he was probably expecting. Remember, he said 3-1. Remember, he said 3-1 in his preview that he's got a good feeling. The team are playing. Let's just hear that one more time. Let's hear that one more time from Big Steve.
City are going to do it. I feel like we're going to get the crowd behind us early doors. We're going to put in a good performance. I'm saying 3-1 City.
Good performance. Yep, great performance. 1 shot on target. Great performance. Did fuck all. Let's hear the rest of this and I'll give you my point about the managers.
Because you need to get a result. You've said this many times.
But we were always trying to win. We're always trying to win. That's the difference, trying to win in this title race. There's 9 games to go. We're trying to win. All I said was one team was trying to win. The other team was happy to sit back and draw. Don't spin it like that was a great performance from Arsenal when before the game people were telling me what they were going to do to us. That's what I'm saying. I admitted Man City was not good enough. We didn't have the tools to get through them. Arsenal defended well. What I'm not accepting is this 1 minute they're going to come and do this, and this is a different Arsenal team, and we can't wait to this. And then you get a draw, play like that, and then you try and turn it as if Arteta did this masterclass. I'm sorry, I'm not having it.
I think.
Hang on a second. If City were restricted to a 1 shot on target because they could not fucking play the football that they're used to playing, is there not a masterclass? Is there not a great setup from Arteta, from Arsenal and the players there to stop you from fucking getting anything on target? Haaland missed a couple of chances, sure. A chance from Ake in the first half. Apart from that, I don't remember any real chance that was there. Arsenal had the better chances. Jesus had a couple of shots, went wide, one was saved. Obviously, the Trossard chance at the end there, could have squared it over to Martinelli, could have been a goal, but I don't buy this, man. I'm going to leave it here. This is just too much saltiness for me, man. My cholesterol's going through the roof from all this salt. Absolutely insane. But I will say on the managers, because Steve touched on it then, like, Arteta's normally coming here and Pep doesn't have the best players and the best squad and all this and that, blah, blah, blah. You had much better players when you came to Anfield a few weeks ago than we did. We were missing 5-6 starters, okay? We were missing 5 or 6 starters. No Alisson in goal, no Trent. I think Szoboszlai was still out. Maybe he played, I can't even remember. Salah was on the bench. Diaz started. Darwin started. We were missing big players. McAllister was there, no Gravenberch, no Jones. So we were missing big players. Kanate didn't make it either. Kwanzaa played. Like, fuck me. You had an almost 10 out of 10 team there, and we overran you. We outplayed you. That's a managerial thing. That's a manager putting his discipline on those players, to Liverpool players. Klopp saying, okay, you do this, this we're going to say, we're going to do this, we're going to do blah, blah, blah. Pep shat himself. Klopp goes to Etihad, he's not going to set up like that over there because he knows he's going to get fucked over with you guys. Or Pep may be worried that he's going to say, you know what, this Liverpool team scare me. I'm not going to do what we normally do at Etihad. We're going to play a little bit more defensive, a little bit more reserve, try play amongst ourselves and see what we can do from there, because this Liverpool team can take us on a counter-attack if they get the ball off us from a press or we lose it, and we only have two centre-backs that are going to be in their half or maybe in their own half just by the halfway line. You're not going to do that, man. Pep, if you want to look at it this way, arguably a better man manager. Klopp, I should say not Pep. Klopp, arguably a better man manager than Pep at the moment because of what Klopp is doing with the squad that he's had. Yes, City have had injuries, but they've got $80 million Gvardiol on the bench. They've got also Diaz, who didn't play against us. He was on the bench. They have Doku, who is on and off. They've got world-class Phil Foden, the robot Erling Haaland. They've got the best midfielder ever in Kevin De Bruyne, the best defensive mid in Rodri. So you should be winning games then. You should be blitzing everybody if your team is that good, if your manager is that good, if everything is as good as you say it is, as City fans make it out to be, you should be winning every single game you are competing in, but you're not, because maybe you're just not that team anymore. Or maybe people have just figured out, you know what, this City team ain't that dangerous. You stop them from scoring. You've done yourself a decent job. Away from home, at home you want to try and play. Away from home, different story. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you for watching. Rattled Big Steve is the most favorite Big Steve. City fans all over the place. Some City fans are reasonable and say, like, you know what, missed opportunity. We didn't play very well. Arsenal were very, very good. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. On to the next game. Some others, I want to say, well, Arsenal came to defend and didn't want to play, and you guys sucked because you didn't come at us. Well, maybe it was a wise decision in the end.